Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into freelance video editing.
Sounds good.
We're going to look at how to turn your editing skills into a real business.
Nice.
And for this one, I actually found a cool Software King tutorial. I thought it had a lot of great tips.
Oh, yeah, Software King. They always have good stuff. Really practical advice, whether you're just starting out or even if you've been doing this for a while and you're just looking for some ways to boost your income. I think we can all use that, right?
Totally. So this whole idea of selling pre-made video templates,
Oh, yeah.
that was like a light bulb moment for me.
Right.
Like, you don't have to start from scratch with every single client.
Exactly. You can create these customizable templates for different niches.
Okay, so walk me through this. So you're saying, like, let's say I'm good at making videos for, I don't know, dentists or gyms or pet groomers,
Right.
people who need video content but maybe don't have a massive budget for a big production.
Exactly. They need something that looks professional, but they don't necessarily have the resources to, hire a full team. So you give them the shortcut with these templates.
Right, and then on top of that, Software King mentioned this thing where you could charge extra, like $50 to $100, just to swap out the stock footage with the client's own, like, videos or photos or whatever.
Yeah, that makes total sense. That's a great way to add value and make it even more personalized for them.
And then boom, you upsell them on all these other things. Like, oh, you want your logo in there? Oh, you need some text?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to tweak the colors a bit? And suddenly you've got like 5 different revenue streams from just one template.
It's really smart. It's all about working smarter, not harder,
Totally. Okay, now another thing I was really impressed with was their approach to finding clients on social media.
Oh, yeah. Social media can be a gold mine if you use it right.
Right. We're talking about Instagram, LinkedIn, even TikTok. Like, use them to showcase your skills, connect with people, but don't just sit back and wait for the clients to come to you.
No, you got to be proactive. Go out there and find them.
Yeah, so Software King says, like, go find those creators, those businesses whose videos, like, could be better. They have potential, but they need that extra polish.
That's a great point. It's like you're a video editor detective. You're looking for those diamonds in the rough.
And then you slide into their DMs like, hey, love your stuff, but have you ever thought about?
Exactly. Maybe offer them like a free 1-minute edit just to show them what you can do.
It's so smart. You're not just telling them you're good, you're showing them.
Exactly.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, let's be real for a second. Freelancing can be tough.
Oh, yeah, it's a roller coaster.
One minute you're like swamped with projects, and the next minute you're like, where's my next paycheck coming from?
Exactly. It's feast or famine.
So how do you create some stability in this crazy world?
Well, that's where retainer packages come in. Software King is a big fan of those.
I've heard of retainers, but I'm not really sure how they work.
So it's kind of like a subscription. Clients pay you a fixed monthly fee, and in return, you provide them with a set number of videos or a certain amount of editing time each month.
So like an example would be, let's say 4 videos a month for $1,000.
Yeah, exactly. Software King actually uses that example in the tutorial.
So the client essentially gets a discount per video, and you get that predictable income every month.
Everyone wins.
I love it. But there's got to be a catch, right?
Well, the key is to have really clear communication and well-defined contracts. You need to outline things like revisions, deadlines, the scope of work, to avoid those situations where the project keeps growing and growing and you're not getting paid extra for it.
Wait, what's that called again? When the project just keeps expanding?
Well, that's called scope creep. It's a freelancer's worst nightmare.
Scope creep. Okay, got it. Taking notes. So, clear contracts, boundaries, no scope creep. Okay, next up, let's talk about those online freelance platforms. Upwork, Fiverr, all those.
Yeah, those can be great resources, but Software King does have a word of caution about those.
Oh, really? What's that?
Well, they warn against trying to be a jack of all trades. Trying to appeal to everyone.
Right, because you end up being a master of none.
Exactly. Software King says it's much better to specialize in a niche, like you're the go-to person for YouTube editing or social media content or corporate videos.
Makes sense. sense. So instead of being a generalist, you become an expert in a specific area.
Exactly. It helps you stand out from the crowd.
Okay, so let's say I've found my niche. What are some tips for actually optimizing my profile on these platforms?
Well, Software King recommends using relevant keywords, showcasing your best work in your portfolio, and writing really compelling service descriptions.
Right, so people can actually find you when they're searching for those specific services.
Exactly. Make it clear who you are and what you offer.
Okay, but here's the thing I always get stuck on. The proposal section. How do you write a proposal that's going to actually grab a client's attention?
Okay, this is where it gets interesting. Software King suggests creating a client account and then browsing through successful proposals for similar jobs.
Whoa, that's genius. Like you're spying on the competition.
In a way, yeah. You're just trying to understand what's working for other people so you can adapt those strategies for your own proposals.
That's brilliant. Okay, so I'm seeing a pattern here. It's all about being strategic, doing your research, understanding your clients, and really putting yourself out there.
Absolutely.
But let's be real, we're all doing this to make money, right?
Of course.
So when you're first starting out, do you think it's okay to be a little bit more competitive with your rates?
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. Start a little lower to build your portfolio, get some good reviews. And then as you gain experience and your reputation grows, you can gradually increase your prices.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're getting paid what you're worth, but you're also attracting clients. All right, so we've talked about pre-made templates, social media outreach, retainer packages, navigating freelance platforms. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, and there's actually even more to come.
Wait, there's more. I'm hooked.
Huh.
What else does Software King have in store for us?
Well, get this. We're about to dive into the world of passive income.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Tell me everything.
So passive income for video editors.
Okay, lay it on me.
It's like taking all your skills, all that editing knowledge,
Yeah.
and like turning it into something tangible that other editors or creators can use.
Okay, give me some examples. What kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, Software King, they mentioned transitions, effects, templates, even sound effects packs. Okay.
Basically anything that can save another editor time
Right.
and effort.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they recommend these platforms like Envato Elements, Motion Array, and Artlist
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
as good places to sell this stuff.
So instead of editing other people's videos, I could be making like a pack of cool transitions.
Right.
Or like title templates or something, and then
Templates.
other editors could use them in their projects.
That's the idea. And Software King, they even suggest creating niche-specific packs.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, imagine a travel vlog pack
Okay.
with, like, transitions and titles and, color grading presets that all have that, like, wanderlust vibe.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, really targeted to that specific kind of content.
Totally.
And, speaking of teaching and stuff, there's a huge demand for tutorials on all the popular editing software,
Oh, for sure.
like DaVinci Resolve and Premiere Pro, all that.
Yeah, those are the big ones. So you could create like online courses or ebooks to teach people,
I like that.
especially beginners, how to use those programs.
That's a really cool idea because it's passive income, but you're also, like, helping people.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
I love it.
So, creating these products is one thing, but Software King also talks about collaborating with agencies.
Okay, agencies, yeah, I have mixed feelings about those
Yeah, I get it.
because I know they can be a good source of, like, steady work.
Right, that's true.
But then I've also heard stories about agencies taking, like, huge cuts and, really overloading their freelancers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely a trade-off.
So what does Software King say about that?
Well, they acknowledge that, agencies do usually take a percentage of what the client pays.
Right.
So you're basically giving up some of your fee, but in exchange, you get the convenience of, not having to find clients yourself.
That makes sense.
So it's kind of like guaranteed work, but at a cost, I guess.
So how do you know if an agency is right for you?
It depends, on your personality
Yeah.
and your goals. Some people really like the freedom and flexibility of freelancing on their own.
Right.
Other people prefer a little bit more structure and stability
Yeah, that makes sense.
that an agency can provide.
And it probably depends on the agency too, right? Like Some are probably great to work with,
Oh, yeah.
and others not so much.
Totally. Do your research.
Yeah.
Read reviews, talk to other freelancers.
Yeah.
Find an agency that you feel good about that aligns with your values.
Well, like you said, do your research.
Exactly.
Don't just jump at the first opportunity that comes along.
Don't do it.
Vet them.
Make sure it's a good fit.
Okay.
Because a good agency, I mean, it can be a fantastic way to, get experience, build your portfolio, maybe get exposed to some different projects
Okay.
than you would find on your own.
All right. But at the end of the day, we all want to make money, right?
Of course. That's why we're doing this.
So how do we maximize our earnings on every project?
Okay, so Software King has a strategy for this. It's called upselling,
Uh-huh.
and it's basically just suggesting additional services that can enhance the client's, original request.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me some examples.
Okay, so let's say a client hires you to edit like a 10-minute video.
Okay.
You could offer to create shorter versions for social media.
Oh, yeah, like for Reels or TikTok.
Exactly. Or you could suggest adding custom thumbnails,
Mhm.
maybe some motion graphics, some sound design, even subtitles.
Okay, so it's like you're taking that initial project and then you're finding all these ways to kind of add value.
Right.
And of course, increase your income in the process.
Exactly.
I love it.
But you got to be careful. You don't want to sound pushy.
Right, yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm like nickel and diming them.
No, no, no. It's all about framing it as, as these valuable additions
Okay.
that are going to benefit their brand, help them reach a wider audience, things like that.
So it's like you're genuinely trying to help them.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
Okay, that makes sense.
And of course, being transparent about pricing is important.
Yeah, for sure.
Software King actually gives some specific examples.
Okay.
Like you could charge an extra $50 for advanced sound design.
Yeah.
Maybe $75 for an animated intro.
Mm-hmm.
$50 each for like social media snippets, all on top of the the original editing fee.
Wow, so those little extras can really add up.
They can.
Suddenly a $100 project could be $200, $300.
Exactly.
I'm liking this.
Yeah, and that's really just scratching the surface. There's, Software King has even more strategies for finding these hidden opportunities to provide value and boost your income.
Okay, this is awesome. What else is there?
I know, right? It's amazing how many different paths there are to success,
It really is. And I think what's cool about this Software King tutorial is that it really emphasizes like that client-centric approach.
Yeah, for sure. It's not about just making a quick buck, It's about building those relationships, going the extra mile, becoming a valuable partner to your clients.
And it's about showcasing your skills and helping your clients reach their goals, like whether you're creating those custom templates or suggesting additional services.
Exactly. But it makes you wonder, with all these video editors out there, how do you actually stand out from the crowd?
That's the big question, right? I mean, it is such a competitive landscape.
It really is. So you got to figure out what makes you unique. What's your special sauce,
Yeah, and I think Software King kind of touches on that. Like, you got to figure out your niche and build a strong personal brand.
Right, exactly. And think about, what are your strengths? What do you really enjoy doing? What are you, naturally good at?
Yeah, what sets you apart from other editors?
Yeah, maybe it's your editing style or your speed or your storytelling ability.
Or maybe it's something, less tangible, like the way you communicate with clients.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Communication is key.
Or maybe you're just, really good at understanding a client's vision
Absolutely, that's huge.
and translating that into the finished product.
Totally. And once you figure out those strengths, those are the things you gotta, shout from the rooftops.
Right. Put it on your website, on your social media, in your proposals.
Exactly. Let your personality shine through.
This deep dive has been so eye-opening.
I'm glad to hear that.
I feel like I have a whole new set of tools and strategies
Awesome.
for taking my freelance video editing to the next level.
That's what we like to hear. Remember, success in freelancing really boils down to a few things: skill, a good strategy, and passion for what you do. Don't ever stop learning, keep experimenting, keep pushing yourself to improve.
Yeah, and I think that's something Software King really drives home in the tutorial. The video editing world is constantly changing.
Oh, absolutely. So you gotta embrace the challenges, keep learning, keep growing.
Love it. So to wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with a little something to think about. With all these incredible opportunities out there, what is your unique value proposition? What's your editing superpower?
Yeah, that's a great question to ponder. And
Yeah.
maybe even start by making that free 1-minute edit, showcase your skills a bit and see where it leads you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into freelance video editing. Until next time, keep editing, keep creating, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
See ya!